Every breakthrough in life begins with a moment of discomfort, a moment that forces you to question everything you thought was stable, whether it's a sudden challenge, a quiet dissatisfaction, or a deep sense that something no longer fits. Discomfort is the first sign that growth is approaching. This is one of the most powerful universal laws. Life will always disturb what no longer aligns with your future. And while people often resist it, avoid it, or fear it, discomfort is actually one of the most honest messages the universe ever sends. Think about the greatest transformations throughout human history. No nation became strong without struggle. No individual became wise without adversity. No society evolved without pressure pushing it into a new direction. Across the United States, people pushed through burnout in search of meaning. Across Europe, people face the emotional weight of routine, expectations, and the quiet question, is this all there is? No matter where you live, discomfort has a way of finding you, not to break you, but to awaken you. Discomfort is the alarm clock of the soul. It rings when you're living below your potential. It rings when you've outgrown a certain identity, habit, or environment. It rings to remind you that the life you desire requires a version of you that has not yet fully arrived. It shakes you out of autopilot, pushes you out of stagnation, and disrupts your comfort so you can finally see where you've been settling. And the moment you stop viewing discomfort as an enemy, everything changes. The problem is not discomfort itself. The problem is that we've been conditioned to fear it. We've been taught that pain means something is wrong, when in reality, pain often means something is being made right. It means your life is shifting, your energy is realigning, and your spirit is growing restless with the version of you that no longer fits your destiny. Discomfort becomes the invitation to evolve. When you feel stuck, the universe uses discomfort to move you. When you feel lost, it uses discomfort to refocus you. When you feel disconnected, it uses discomfort to make you seek a deeper truth. You weren't made to stay in places that stunt your growth. You weren't made to remain in jobs, relationships, environments, or habits that shrink your soul. Discomfort exposes these areas not to hurt you, but to free you. The truth is, comfort is the slowest form of death. It keeps you quiet, predictable, and unchanged. Discomfort, on the other hand, forces you to break patterns, rethink choices, and rise to challenges that reveal your strength. It demands your evolution. And the moment you accept this, life opens up in ways you never imagined. Across the modern world, so many people feel a deep inner pull, an urge to break out of routines, to seek meaning, to create something more, to understand themselves on a deeper level. This inner pull is discomfort, guiding you toward alignment. It is the universe whispering, you are meant for more. Discomfort doesn't remove you from your path, it pushes you onto it. It doesn't take you away from your purpose, it leads you directly to it. And if you truly want to grow, if you want to evolve, manifest, and become the version of yourself you dream of, you must learn to embrace dissatisfaction as a sign that your soul is expanding. Because every time life disrupts your comfort, it is preparing you for the next chapter. Struggle is not the thing standing between you and your future. Struggle is the pathway that leads you directly into that future. Most people believe that if life is difficult, it means they're going the wrong direction. But the truth is far more empowering. The challenges you face are shaping you into the person capable of receiving the life you've asked for. Without resistance, you remain the same. Without pressure, nothing grows. Without struggle, there is no evolution. There is a powerful truth that many people never learn. The universe never wastes pain. The struggle you're facing right now is not random. It is not meaningless. It is the curriculum for your transformation. Just like the body grows stronger only when the muscle is challenged and stretched, the soul grows stronger when it is asked to rise above old limits. Struggle becomes the spiritual gym where identity, resilience, and purpose are built. The world often tells you that struggle means failure. But struggle is actually a sign that you're in motion. It means you're breaking patterns, challenging beliefs, stepping into new territory, and shedding the parts of yourself that no longer serve your future. It means you're evolving. When you stop running from struggle, you step into your true power. The most important shift is realizing that you are not struggling because you are weak. You are struggling because you are growing. Growth always feels like destruction before it feels like transformation. The old version of you must dissolve, the doubts, the habits, the fears, the attachments, so that the new version can emerge. Every struggle clears space for something greater. People in the United States feel this deeply. Life moves fast, expectations are high, and the pressure to succeed can feel overwhelming. People in Europe feel it too, in routines, systems, and traditions that often clash with inner desires for freedom, meaning, and change. But regardless of where you are, the struggle is the same. The internal battle between who you used to be and who you're becoming. Struggle reveals your strength. It exposes the places where you've been holding yourself back. It teaches you what really matters. It forces you to dig deeper, to trust more, to release what you can't control, and to discover the power you carry inside. Every moment of resistance becomes an opportunity to rise. Every challenge becomes a doorway to a higher version of yourself. You may not see it now, but your struggle is bringing clarity. It is removing the distractions, illusions, and attachments that kept you stuck. It is pushing you toward choices you should have made years ago. It is aligning you with people who support your growth. It is removing people who benefit from your stagnation. It is guiding you toward the life that matches your truth, not your past. When life becomes heavy, you must remember, pressure is not the enemy, it is the sculptor. It shapes you, sharpens you, and reveals parts of your character you never knew existed. Struggle forces you to rise into the version of yourself that you've been avoiding. The version that is capable, brave, patient, powerful, determined, and aligned. You are not being blocked, you are being built. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. The obstacles you face are not barriers, they are stepping stones. Each one is shaping the mind, heart, and spirit you need for the blessings you've been asking for. Struggle is not there to stop you, it is there to strengthen you so that when your moment arrives, you are ready to step into it fully. Your struggle is the journey. It is the refinement. It is the transformation. And when you understand this, when you stop resisting and start embracing the growth hidden inside the pain, your entire life begins to shift. Your struggle isn't in the way. It is the way. There comes a point in every journey where pain stops being something you run from and becomes something you learn from. This shift, this quiet but profound internal awakening, is the moment you begin turning pain into power. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort, suppressing emotions, pretending to be fine, or distracting themselves from the deeper truth brewing inside. But real transformation begins when you stop fighting the pain and start understanding it. Pain, when examined with awareness, becomes the most powerful teacher you will ever encounter. It exposes what needs healing, reveals what needs releasing, and highlights the areas of your life where you have been settling for less than you deserve. Awareness is the first key. Awareness means you stop seeing your suffering as a random punishment and start seeing it as a mirror. Pain shows you exactly where you've been giving your power away, whether to people, habits, fears, or past experiences that no longer deserve a place in your future. When you become aware, you start connecting the dots. You recognize patterns. You see the truth behind your emotions. You understand why certain situations trigger you, why certain relationships drain you, why certain choices keep repeating. Awareness doesn't immediately remove the pain, but it removes the confusion. And Sele Ridi is the beginning of liberation. Acceptance is the second key, perhaps the hardest one. Acceptance means you stop resisting the season you're in. You stop fighting the fact that life changed. You stop trying to force things back to the way they were. Acceptance doesn't mean you approve of what happened. It means you acknowledge reality as it is, not as you wish it was. Acceptance creates space for healing. It softens the internal battle. It allows your mind to quiet down long enough to hear the deeper message hidden beneath the struggle. When you accept your pain, You begin to shift from victimhood to empowerment. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? The third key is action. Once you've become aware, and once you've accepted where you are, you must choose a new response. Growth is never passive. You cannot change your life while clinging to the same habits that created your suffering. Action doesn't have to be dramatic. It begins with small, intentional shifts, choosing honesty over avoidance, boundaries over people-pleasing, healing over numbing, courage over comfort. Action is where pain transforms into power because it is where you reclaim control. You stop waiting for life to fix itself and begin shaping your reality from the inside out. Pain becomes a force when you choose to rise instead of collapse. When you use the hurt to strengthen your character, deepen your wisdom, and refine your direction. Across the United States, people feel the pressure to always appear strong, productive, confident, so they hide their pain. Across Europe, many suppress their inner battles beneath routine, responsibility, and quiet endurance. But the truth is this: pain doesn't weaken you when you allow yourself to feel it. It weakens you only when you bury it. When you face your pain with honesty, it transforms into awareness. When you accept it, it transforms into clarity. When you act on it, it transforms into purpose. Turning pain into power means you refuse to let your suffering define your future. You decide that every hardship will elevate you rather than limit you. You choose to see your scars not as signs of defeat, but as proof that you survived things meant to break you. Pain becomes power when you no longer run from it, when you sit with it, learn from it, and allow it to shape you into someone wiser, stronger, and more aligned with your purpose. Pain is not the end of your story. It is the chapter that reveals your strength. It is the fire that burns away everything that kept you small. It is the awakening that guides why toward your true path. When you learn to turn pain into power, you step into a higher version of yourself, one who is no longer shaped by fear, but by purpose, no longer limited by the past, but expanded by the lessons it brought. Manifestation is not about wishing for a better life. It is about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts it. And nothing shapes that person more powerfully than resistance. Most people believe that resistance is a sign to stop. They think obstacles mean the universe is blocking them. But the truth is the opposite. Resistance is a sign that you are getting closer to your breakthrough. Every great manifestation requires preparation. And resistance is that preparation, shaping your mindset, strengthening your energy, and aligning your spirit with what you're asking for. When you face resistance, it means life is stretching you, molding you, preparing you for the next chapter. You cannot manifest abundance with a scarcity mindset. You cannot manifest love while clinging to old wounds. You cannot manifest purpose while living in fear. Resistance exposes these internal barriers so you can rise above them. It forces you to face the parts of yourself that are not yet aligned with the future you desire. The discomfort you feel is the universe training you for the blessings you've asked for. Think about how the strongest materials on earth are formed. Metal is forged in fire. Diamonds are created under pressure. Muscles grow from resistance. Every element that becomes stronger does so through challenge. And human beings are no different. The resistance you face is not the universe holding you back. It is the universe strengthening your capacity to hold more. More love, more opportunity, more success, more peace, more purpose. Manifestation requires energy. And resistance forces you to generate that energy. When life challenges you, you lead. RN resilience. When you face setbacks, you develop patience. When everything seems blocked, you learn adaptability. These qualities are not punishments, they are upgrades. They are the tools that prepare you to receive what you've been manifesting. Manifestation is not magic, it is alignment. And alignment comes through refinement. Resistance refines you. Many people wonder why their manifestations don't arrive immediately. But imagine receiving everything you asked for before you were emotionally, spiritually, or mentally ready. It would slip through your fingers. Resistance ensures you become the version of yourself who can sustain the blessing. It removes weak foundations. It tears down false identities. It breaks unhealthy patterns. It forces you to outgrow your old life so you can step into your new one. Across the world, people feel resistance in different ways. Americans feel it as pressure to succeed, to progress, to constantly move forward. Europeans feel it as conflict between personal truth and societal expectation. But no matter where you are, resistance shows up the same way, through challenges that push you, shake you, and awaken parts of yourself you never knew existed. Resistance is a sign that something great is forming within you. When you shift your perception, resistance becomes your ally. You learn that obstacles are not roadblocks, they are checkpoints. They ask you, are you ready for what you ask for? Are you prepared to handle the responsibility that comes with your blessing? Are you willing to evolve into the version of yourself that aligns with your destiny? Manifestation through resistance means you stop seeking the easy path. You stop expecting life to hand you your dreams without requiring your transformation. You learn to trust the timing, trust the process, and trust yourself. You begin to understand that every delay has purpose, every challenge carries wisdom, every rejection leads to redirection. Resistance transforms your desires from wishes into certainty. It strengthens your belief, sharpens your focus, and raises your vibration. When you endure resistance with faith instead of fear, you align with the very energy required to manifest your deepest intentions. Resistance doesn't stop your manifestation, it accelerates it by shaping you into someone unstoppable. Manifestation is not something that happens to you, it is something that happens through you. And resistance is the force that clears the channel. Every person who has ever asked for a better life has unknowingly invited resistance into their journey, not to block the blessing, but to prepare the vessel. You cannot receive a new reality with an outdated identity. You cannot bring miracles into a mindset filled with fear, doubt, and self-sabotage. So life introduces resistance, not to punish, but to purify. Every challenge you encounter is a spiritual cleansing. Every setback is a recalibration. Every delay is divine protection. Resistance tears down the mental walls you've built around your potential. It reveals the beliefs that shrink your power. It exposes the insecurities that keep you small. It destroys the illusions that distract you from your purpose. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, blocks manifestation more than the parts of you that haven't healed yet. And the universe will always guide you back to your own healing. Resistance often shows up right when you're closest to change. You'll feel frustrated, overwhelmed, confused, or stuck. You'll question yourself. You'll question your path. You'll question whether you're worthy of the things you're asking for. But this is not a sign to turn back. This is the sign that your old identity is dissolving. The resistance you feel isn't a barrier. It's the friction created by transformation. You are shedding your past self. You are stepping into a new frequency. Resistance is simply the echo of who you used to be, trying to hold on. The reason resistance feels so intense is because growth demands new habits, new beliefs, new responses, new energy. It requires you to release comfort and walk into uncertainty. And the human mind will always cling to the familiar, even if the familiar is painful. This is why resistance shows up, to break the grip of your old self so your new self can emerge. You are not being tested, you are being upgraded. People in the modern world feel resistance in countless ways. In the United States, the pressure to constantly perform and achieve can create mental barriers that make manifestation feel impossible. In Europe, societal expectations can clash with internal desires for change and personal truth. But regardless of culture, resistance works the same way. It pushes you inward. It turns your attention from the outside world to the inner world, where true manifestation begins. Your thoughts, emotions, intentions, and energy shape your reality. But resistance refines these inner elements so they become powerful enough to shift your external world. Resistance polishes your character. It deepens your patience. It teaches discipline. It strengthens intuition. It forces clarity. And clarity is one of the strongest tools of manifestation. When you know what you want and why you want it, the universe aligns everything in your favor. Manifestation through resistance teaches you to stop depending on external results and start cultivating internal resilience. When you face challenges with courage, uncertainty with faith, and setbacks with calm, you align your vibration with the reality you're seeking. Manifestation is not about controlling outcomes. It is about controlling your state of being. And resistance trains you to remain grounded in your power no matter what happens around you. This is why resistance is sacred. It is the fire that burns away the version of you who wasn't ready. It is the pressure that strengthens the version of you who is. It is the unseen force that prepares your heart, your mind, and your spirit to hold the abundance you've been asking for. When you learn to embrace resistance, you no longer fear the journey. You understand that every struggle brings you closer, every challenge shapes you, every obstacle elevates you. Resistance isn't blocking your manifestation. It is your manifestation in progress. There will come a day when you look back on your life and realize that every moment of suffering was guiding you somewhere. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every delay, every painful ending, it was all part of a much larger design. You were never being abandoned, you were being aligned. You were never being punished, you were being prepared. And the struggles that once felt unbearable become the moments you are most grateful for because they pushed you into the person you were always meant to become. Your future self is calling you, not with a whisper, but with a pull, an inner knowing that the life you meant to live is far bigger than the life you've been settling for. This version of you, the one who is strong, centered, fulfilled, abundant, aligned, already exists. You are not trying to create this version, you are trying to meet them. And everything you going through right now is shaping the pathway to that meeting. The universe does not withhold blessings, but it does require readiness. The doors you've been trying to walk through are not locked. You are simply becoming the version of yourself that can walk through them without fear. Your pain has been polishing you. Your challenges have been strengthening you. Your losses have been clearing space. Your doubts have been teaching you trust. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was meaningless. Every step was essential. Your future self is not demanding perfection. They are asking for alignment. They are asking you to let go of the weight you've been carrying, old stories, old identities, old relationships, old fears. They are asking you to step into the truth of who you are, not the identity others forced onto you. They are asking you to stop shrinking, stop hiding, stop dimming your light simply because the world told you to stay small. You were never meant to live a life of quiet suffering. You were never meant to stay stuck in cycles that drain you. You were never meant to fit into boxes that suffocate your soul. Life has been pushing you, stretching you, shaking you, not because you're weak, but because you're powerful. And powerful people cannot grow in comfort. They grow in pressure. They grow in challenge. They grow in surrender. The future you want is not far away. It is waiting in the space between who you are and who you are becoming. That space is created by your willingness to let go, to heal, to learn, to rise, to trust the timing of your life even when it makes no sense, to trust yourself even when you doubt your own strength, to trust that the universe is on your side even when the path feels dark. Your future self is whispering to you, keep going, don't quit now, you are closer than you think. What feels like breaking is actually becoming. You are stepping into the life you were created for. This moment right here, right now, is not a coincidence. It is a calling, a reminder that your story isn't over, that your best chapters are still unwritten, and that everything you've been through has prepared you for what's coming next. You are not lost. You are being guided. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not ending. You are transforming. Your future self is waiting, and you are finally becoming the person capable of meeting them.